Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Akul Mac Technologies. Welcome to Tobras. And let me also welcome my friend from Ahmedabad. He is a very eminent personality. His name is Mr. Nagesh Sood. He is a practicing advocate in Ahmedabad High Court. So without further ado, let me welcome Nagesh. How are you, Nagesh?
Hi, CK. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for bringing me again to your platform.
It is our pleasure, Nagesh. And as you know, that we are on the journey of understanding human rights from the legal standpoints. And I think our series is very popular. A lot of people are liking it. Today, we would like to discuss a very important aspect about the human right that is related to domestic violence. So, we would like to know from you, Nagesh, what is the legal binding around this domestic violence and what are the rights available to the person who is undergoing a domestic violence?
Well, Chandrakant, so far as domestic violence is concerned, it is undoubtedly a human right issue, and there are so much of development after the Vienna Accord of 1994 and the Beijing Declaration. So far as the domestic violence is concerned, it is an issue related to people world over, and therefore, under the Human Rights Charter, this right has been considered as one of the rights which concerns the equity of men and women. When in the society, the women are not treated equal with men, that is where is the reason where the domestic violence takes place. As we all know that most of the societies are patriarchal societies in the world, and therefore there is no equality between men and women so far as their rights are concerned. And therefore, when the men folk who are considered stronger and a strong sex, then definitely the women who are at home or who are not as strong as men in patriarchal society are subjected to domestic violence. In India, of course, uh, in 2005, we have come up with Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. It says that any harm, injury to health, safety, life, limb, or well being, or any other act, or threatening or coercion, etc., by any adult member of the family constitutes a domestic violence. Any woman who is or has been in a domestic or family relationship is if subjected to any act of domestic violence can complain. Aggrieved or affected women can complain to the concerned protection officer. There is a provision of an officer who is called a protection officer under this act, uh, which is a police officer, a service provider, or a magistrate. The aggrieved woman has a right to be informed about the available services like fees, legal service from the protection officer, etc. There is also a provision of shelter homes and medical facilities which can be provided to that aggrieved woman. There is an interim protection which can be given by the magistrate to that woman, and the proceedings can also uh, can be held in camera. That means these proceedings not necessarily have to be in the courtroom or in public arena. So every aggrieved woman has a right to reside in a shared household, and the protection is then given to the by the magistrate to the aggrieved woman in terms of monetary relief, or sometimes a separate home is also provided if the uh, violence is continuous. So these are some of the provisions which, if are proved, then there is a punishment of imprisonment for 1 year or a fine up to 20,000 rupees. Uh, so these are the some of the relevant provisions under the Domestic Violence Act, where there is a protection for the women in India.
This is a very important protection for almost like 49% of the population of India. I think it's very, very relevant. And the way you have explained also is very, very good. However, I have one question, Nagesh. There are elderly people also, and in today's society where people are not living in a joint family, many times you would have noticed and around you and also in the press that sometimes the elderly, which are elderly father or elderly mother, both get neglected sometimes. So is there a provision or a law to protect their rights as well?
Yes, CK, we in India have an act called Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007, wherein if a senior citizen is subjected to any kind of violence, the punishment there is of around 6 months, and they are equally protected. And of course, under that act, the children are bound to maintain and see the welfare of the parents who are senior citizens and are not able to maintain themselves because of old age or because of any other reason. So there is very much an act in place which provides for maintenance and welfare of parents and senior citizens, uh, which is this act called Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizen Act 2007.
So this is different from the domestic violence, right? Is it not considered as a domestic violence, issue?
Yes, it is different. It is a separate act for the senior citizens, parents who are maybe living in the joint family or are living separate from their children. Sometimes we have seen very unfortunate incidents where parents are thrown out of their own houses and are left without any help or without any shelter. So, this act protects the interest of those parents who are being ill treated or thrown out of their houses by their children, and therefore there is very much a protection available to them. And recently, many uh, judgments, the courts have passed many uh, decisions whereby there is a protection given to parents and senior citizens in cases where they have been subjected to ill treatment or they have been thrown out of their houses. So there is very much a law which is available for their protection.
So, Nagesh, I think as part of the human right and maintaining dignity and humanity, I think these laws are very, very critical, specifically for India, where the women are protected and also the elderlies are protected. But there could be a situation, Nagesh, and when I say this, I hope you will agree with me that many times even men can have a similar issue where he feels that his rights are taken away and his right to live in a dignified manner is also taken away. So, is there a provision for protecting the men uh, from some sort of violence or domestic violence or something like that?
Well, CK, there has been a transition so far as the 498A is concerned, wherein a woman was allowed to complain against the husband and the family of the husband against the violence or ill treatment under the criminal justice system. Now, there is no gender neutral laws so far as the violence of uh, men are concerned, but there has been transition of the views of the court that many a times it is seen that women are exploiting this law and they are subjecting the husbands to cruelty. And many a times false complaints are being made. But the new trend of the courts are that the immediate protection is given to the husband and their family. And in a very, very rare case, when apparently it is seen that the woman is subjected to cruelty or violence, there could be an arrest of the husband and the family. Otherwise, the trend is now that they have to be released on bail immediately if there is a complaint which is made and which apparently does not show that there is a cruelty or any kind of violence which has happened against the wife by the husband or the family of the husband. So the trend has been changing, but there is no gender neutral law so far as domestic violence is concerned.
So Nagesh, I think it was a very interesting conversation we had. I think we also came to know about your opinion about having a gender equal laws, which is a need of our country as we are actually progressing towards the 21st century. It was a great pleasure, Nagesh, learning about how people can apply domestic violence and also how elderlies can protect themselves. So for today, I think we will say goodbye. But tomorrow again, we will meet and discuss something related to human rights. It was my pleasure, Nagesh.
Thank you very much, Chandrakant. It was my pleasure too being with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.